right. Good morning. Yellow background, yellow t-shirt, beard. Fear the beard. Got the beard. Inception. All right. I doubt that today. Oh, hello, Discord. I doubt today will be a lot of people. But as it's a day off in a lot of countries, in a lot of European countries, it's a day off. It's May 1st. I think it's some sort of probably have some Christian relation to it, but mostly it's because of it's the beginning of the summer or whatever it is. It's like Viking style. It's a bonfire. So if anyone has who's around who wants to throw me some topics, that would be cool. Okay, good morning, Kuro. Uh, let's do the roll of the dice. Oh, it's number 5. It shouldn't be number 5. It should be there. Oh yeah, dice is working. So throw me some topics, or I'll just do comfort zone. But we got one topic, so we're running on topics. Let's see, it's 81, so it should be you guys' topic. So I'll give it a 1 more minute or so for topics, and then we'll go. But like I said, I doubt there will be lots of people. I think a lot of people are hungover and sleeping. I was not very hungover, but there was a party yesterday. So and no one's working in Latvia or UK. There's lots of countries that don't work today. That's interesting, Kuro. I wonder why. There's lots of people complaining about Twitch lately, and I don't know why. It's a bit odd. Let's see, Twitch is more widescreen than I'm streaming. That's interesting. So theoretically, I could move everything to this side. That's interesting, Kuro. All right, let's do Mad Max. Kuro is the winner. Hey, Kilrathi. Good morning. Let's do Mad Max topic. Kuro wins by default. All right. Let's find the timer. Let's start. The funny thing is, like, I have no picture in my head for Mad Max at the moment. So, all right, I got a picture. So what I saw was like tilted camera. Let's make a new layer. Tilted camera, some Mad Maxy type character standing, not really like this. In my mind, it's a little bit different, but he's like holding a gun. More like that, yeah, like that in my mind, kind of. Yeah, so he's standing like that. I need to sketch out what I saw before I flip the canvas, because that's gonna affect my mind of what I saw. But yeah, some Mad Max type character, and with a thing, and it was like wind coming from behind, throwing his cape forward and scarf. That's what I saw, kind of. All right, so now it's okay. Now I can flip it. Could suggest something. What if you want me to talk about it? I think Sofa Strangler. Yeah, that's true. I mean, theoretically, these black bars, I could move everything to the side and have a camera. Probably. I need to rejiggle everything. Good morning, Eric Moy. Gaxix. Hey, welcome back, my friend. The bear is good. It's warm coffee. God damn. So, how's everyone doing? What's your plans for today? I'm assuming a lot of you guys have a free day today, but if you're freelancer, you don't have that luxury. Well, that's a broken knee. Let's remove that. I was listening, by the way, to one of Dadotronic or Dado on Discord. He's not very active, but he's a friend of mine from Brazil, and he sent me a link to a Bobby Chew stream where he was talking about community. Um, Sofa Strangler, yeah, there we go. Worker Liberty Day or whatever it's called. I bet it's called different things in different countries with different religious or non-religious connotations. Um, yeah. So, anyways, I was listening to Bobby Chew's stream, and he was talking about community, as I said. One thing that I was really glad to hear was that he was saying like that that the olden days, he was talking about the good old days of Sijin, etc. And he was talking about that there isn't that much community anymore, um, and that like another topic he was talking about people wanting like portfolio reviews and how he doesn't have time to do that, and that's why he does streams so that he can answer a lot of questions, at the same time. But another thing that was interesting, that he mentioned, which I think is fair, like a lot of people want things, right? They want like, hey, look at my art, or spend time on me, like how people do on internet, like you want some feedback or some critique, or you know. And Bobby Chu said some very valid thing. He was like, if you want someone's attention, um, they will give you attention, and you as the person asking should like he mentioned like, oh, buy some gumroad, or like donate some money, or uh, give in order to receive. And I was thinking about that, and it's a very fair comment, like that. It's the same with community, right? And the same with feedback, right? Or critiques or comments, that if you want someone to comment on your work, you should probably spend some time commenting on other people's work, like putting things back into um, the flow of things, right? Like, oh, you want attention? Okay, I should probably give attention to someone else. And in that way, it's going to create a more interesting community. Hey, Lorraine, good morning. That's cool, Gaxix. Best of luck. That's some great news. yeah, so I was thinking about that, like how the um, nature of the community has changed a lot. How social media and like how the I don't know who or when or how, but it has become this: you are online, I am online, and I expect things from you, in this weird way, like I don't know if a lot of people know, but the more, I wouldn't say famous you are, but uh, how to put it, like known artist you are in the industry, the more people will ask you randomly, like you have never talked to them before. They will ask you randomly, like, "Oh, could you please have a look at my portfolio and give me a portfolio review?" Like or or assume you would go and support them by clicking their new project or all these things. You get lots of spam, like because uh, you're a known artist with a lot of followers, and for some reason they think that they can use that to their advantage somehow. Like not necessarily in a negative way when talking about advantage, but just in general, like, oh, this artist X is famous. I should try to do something or ask this artist for feedback, or um, and it's a weird thing, and I don't, like I don't mind helping people out. Obviously, that's why I'm doing my streams and trying to build this community and things like that. But the problem is when the like tradition isn't supporting the idea, right? Like a lot of people ask for favors, but not a lot of people give. And I think that is a potentially dangerous thing for the community. Like I think most people giving, like the professionals or seasoned artists giving, are the people who started out in the industry when the industry was in its um, early days, right? They helped create the industry. Um, all these like 10 plus year professionals, the household names of concept art now. They were all helped out defining the industry, and and I think a lot of them have idyllic, this idyllic view of how the community should be, while a lot of new artists, you know, because like let me try to explain, like because of all the older artists or established artists, they have this idyllic view of the industry, and they pursue it and they want to enhance it, and all these things that you know people are sharing and talking about. It comes from a completely different point of view than a lot of like upcoming artists, I guess. Not to shit on anyone, but you can definitely see a difference in upcoming artists and seasoned artists. Like with many years. Hey, meow. Good morning. You're new. Goxix, yeah, definitely. Goxix, yeah, is definitely different. Um, Everyone is also obviously, in this instance, Goxix. we are all in different stages of life, etc., and different state of happiness and so on. And there's many factors of why in you and me in this example didn't talk that much, but I know for those who don't know, me and Gaksix and a lot of other artists are part of a group, or it was a huge blog at one point. We had our own art book and so on. It was called Guerrilla Art Fair. Um, but it stopped being very active, and a lot of people just kind of went their own ways. There is a Facebook page of it, I think. There is a blog, but hardly anyone is posting anymore. Not compared to what it used to be. But we had a hidden forum, where we all could just hang out and talk shit and share art and say things that you shouldn't say in public. Which is a cool idea. But where was it getting at? Yeah, that's why I like Coxix mentioned that we used to be on the same blog. Life definitely goes on. But it's an interesting thing, internet and giving feedback and having a community of sorts. Um, it's something I want to try to build, to kind of create, but it's hard to do. It's definitely not an easy thing, and I'm not gonna do it, like to out of for the sake of money or anything. That's definitely not making something that like this, like I am planning with money in mind is not the right thing to do, and it will never be a good thing if the decisions being made is about how much money can I get, um, and I'm obviously not huge in like making communities when it comes to experience and skill level, but I mean so far I think so far so good on Discord, etc. I mean, I love hanging out with you guys and see all your art and having discussions on the Discord. I think that's really cool, um, and I want to try to expand that, but without getting too big in a way where it's just a massive flood of things. So it's something I've been thinking about, like how can that be maintained but expanded upon, you know? Um, it's not the art director part of me. I just love the idea of having a community like it used to be, but 2.0. And it's definitely the teacher rather than the art director. I mean, the idea of seeing other people's art and talking to them and seeing, where they're going in their life, etc., is a really cool thing. And that more than anything is why I want to have uh, a new community again. Like ArtStation is not very much community. It's just like a wall of fame, more or less. You know, there's no community in there. There's no talking. Um, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying I'm going to be as big as ArtStation, but there isn't really. a cool place to hang out and be inspired, and like it used to be on forums. Like if you talk to any of the like big names like Bobby Chu, um, any of the old school concept artists, that been around from the beginning, they all will talk about how great the forum days was, because that was like the cradle of the industry. Everyone was pushing each other and sharing techniques and talking, and it isn't that much around anymore. It's all about go to my Facebook profile, type, um, go to my Patreon and pay. I want to make money on what used to be freely shared. The problem is people don't mind. The problem here, I think, is that people don't mind paying for knowledge, and you can never, if that ball started rolling already about, oh, someone wants to pay for what I know that used to be shared freely on forums. When that step has been taken, it's going to be hard to say, no, you shouldn't pay for it. It should be free. Um, no one in theory would say, no, I don't want free money. So the alternative then is, for example, let's say, hypothetically, like ad revenue, right? So you get paid per traffic, so that you as a viewer don't have to pay, but you're paying by clicking, in that sense, by having people clicking. But the problem then is, let's say one person buys a Gumroad for $5, and each click is not going to be $5 in ad revenue, unless it's like insane amount of people going. But yeah, it's a flawed idea. But the problem is, like I said, when that ball had started rolling about people paying for knowledge that used to be free on forums, it's going to be hard to break. Cool, Sofa Strangler. Yeah, I think so too. I think the Discord is great. The idea of the Discord is cool. I really want to try to expand on that idea, on the way the way the Discord acts and behaves. I really want to do something more with it than just have it as it is. I think it has loads and loads of potential. I think Discord is limited though in the way it is. Like, you can only get X amount of characters in a message. You always have to, there's no archiving. It's just one scrolling text, and that might not be the best for everything. Kuru, yeah, I mean, those kind of things, about reaching out to other artists, that's fair. You obviously, you can do things like that, but I haven't really been being the ad man, like, like marketing myself that hard. I've been mostly just organically letting things take their time. The things I have in plan probably will start changing that. I will be a little bit having to be a little bit more tactical about with how I market and so on. Like if I want to try to build something cool, which my intent is, right? I do want to have some cool little creative corner on the internet where there's more than just me, you know. Like I love the idea of the Discord. I love seeing every morning, every night, you know, what you guys talk about, what you guys share, um, and the art you do and all that thing, and all those things. And I think that's a really cool idea, you know. In if we try to distill that, it's a really nice thing. Like you can, it's almost like an expanded Skype chat program, you know. There's lots of communication and constant, like, I don't know. I have, this is like, I have no experience in other people's Discord, um, but I really dig the idea of of how this is. You know, it's very kind of laid back, and I don't know. I like it. Yeah, no one, but a lot of people don't care about other artists, or like hive mind behavior, like helping each other. And there's a lot of buy my gumroad thinking. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think it's a good thing that you can earn money on what you know. Uh, and if people want to buy it, even better, you know. But it's not a lot of community left. And Bobby Chu was talking about that as well. Like that it has changed and not at all what it used to be. I mean, nostalgia is a dangerous enemy. A lot of times, like nostalgia does more damage than good, majority of the times. But I think there's always dangers of nostalgia, right? You want to have things as they were. And every time I think that, I think of that Bill Burr joke of saying, "Oh, someone doing hair extensions or hair transplant, and how modern hair transplants, like, oh, I wish I did this 10 years ago. Like, why haven't I done this earlier?" Like, you don't want 10 years old hair plant technology. You want modern uh, hair plant technology. And that statement, like, oh, well, I would have wish I would done this 10 years ago. And that's the same thing with nostalgia, right? Like if you think about it, I'm talking about, oh, it used to be so good, like all the people were sharing all the knowledge, and I wish it was like back then. But maybe that would suck, you know. But the memory of that is probably a lot more worth than the idea of how it actually was. Um, yeah, so I think the challenge is to take something like that and extrapolate from it. Oh, that's cool, Corel. That's awesome. Oh, that's interesting. Sofa Strangler, yeah. I mean, DeviantArt and ArtStation, there's no um, community. I think it's great to get jobs for sure, but it's not good for community. I mean, who actually cares about artist X on ArtStation, other than, oh, I really like artist X art, but you can't talk to them. There's no personality in there. It's just check out my cool shit, and that's it. You know, that's all you do on ArtStation. You don't go to ArtStation to talk to the artist, or may potentially have a chance to talk to the artist, right? That's the last thing you expect going on ArtStation. But again, back in the good old days of forums, and you went to let's say some artist's sketchbook thread that they constantly updated, with their new art, and then it was a massive chance, like if you wrote to them, that they would answer back. Maybe just like, oh, cool, thanks. Yeah, I agree, or whatever. But at least, there was this communication. But no one, I mean, Facebook, sure, I mean, that is to some extent as well, like, but you can PM the artist, but it is not the same thing. It's not absolutely not the same thing. But maybe you can't go back to what it used to be. I don't know that either. I mean, there's something that only time can tell, like how the industry will change. But I definitely want to try my hand at creating some cool community, at least, or some bridge or some tool that can help people make their own community. I don't know. It's fun though. It's fun trying, and it's fun streaming and connecting with people and talking to them. And I hope like 5, 10 years down the line, like Kuru will have a job at, I don't know, 343, working on Halo 8, and we can talk about like, oh yeah, do you remember 30-minute warm up, whatever, and Lurib is senior modeler at, the fact that, for example, I have open canvas sessions with Cynics and Feng Zhu and Craig Mullins, and from 20 years ago, not really 20 years ago, but 15 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And that's around the time where I first met like Keikai Kotaki. His name is Kotaki, right? Yeah. And we hung out and chatted and drew on each other's canvases. It's hilarious, and those are the things that like I loved about the industry, that the kind of connectivity. And oh, you're in America somewhere while I was sitting in Sweden and painting. That's what I loved about the community, and the sharing and helping and talking about art theories, and way more interesting than Sofa Strangler. I'm thinking about some sort of hybrid, yeah. Kuro. Gag 6. But yeah, I mean, with skill, time always fixes that. It's like a mathematical formula. Effort plus time equals result. And you can't get results without time. You just need to spend time learning, and it'll fix most of the problems. Let's put some background, maybe backpack or something. Right. Time's up. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks for the topic, Kuro. Some Mad Max. Uh, Coccyx, no. I will talk about it soon. I think some things have changed, and I think yeah, I will talk about it soon. But I've got shit in my plan. It'll come. All right. Have a fantastic day. Good night. Whatever you are. Have a good one and see you tomorrow morning. Adios. Here comes the outro. Chaos. Bye.